going on, everyone? With that means we have the final. Now, as a ninja, I'm very, very, very familiar with the realms of scams. It's a part of my arsenal. It's what we have to do sometimes to get that information, right? To infiltrate, annihilate, whatever. So when I see this, I have to call it out. And today, scammers I'm looking for or looking into, because I don't know. I have to prove it, but I have to be real. It's giving scamming vibes, and now they've said some stuff that confirms the scamming vibes. I'm talking about, they call it For Your Leisure or something like that. Guys, Invest Fest. Not from Atlanta, but they do the Invest Fest in Atlanta and then talk crap about Atlanta because they need Atlanta support. I don't know. We're going to look at it. Been there. I'm going to put that little soundboard in so you can hear it, but spin it. Scammers. It's some scammers. Scammers. All right, let's look into it. Invest. Best. So, hey, I felt it. Scam best.
Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Nigga, spin that shit. Spin that shit.
All right. Let's pause it. So yeah, I as I was just talking to my wife, I literally was discussing, like, we live here. I don't know how long this has been going on. Hold on, no. Live here, entrepreneurs here, move around here. So I've heard about this, but I've never had any inkling to go because I don't know, my invest meter wasn't going off. And it seems like kind of like I just made a video about Stephen A. Smith, and there's certain things where I'm like, I don't speak on them because I can tell something is off, and I know my inquisitive self, I'll ask questions, and it would just lead to me looking like I'm a hater or that I'm just, I don't know, not being supportive maybe in some fashion. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to do that. So I just let stuff play out. But like, yo, me too. Not once. Jesus. Yeah. It's just for promo. Because like everyone knows that a lot of successful black people live there. Kendrick, you run to Atlanta.
What we see here is that ever since BLakeNinJa came out, he was getting upset to see Atlanta not supporting him. You're starting to see a lot of educated black people actually expose what Invest Fest is. A lot of these people feel that it's a scam.
Yes.
And the one thing that I would say,
$300 a ticket.
it's easy to scam black people when you talk about money. When you make it seem like these things are easy to make money, you're associated with a lot of people that you guys interviewed that have been caught scamming the community. Now you're building a bad reputation for yourself. People are talking
it's like
learning
a
and pain.
it looks like a social. It looks like, as a guy who goes to cons myself, it looks like they tried to take a con idea and then put invest on it. So it looks like invest con. And it's like, man, I don't know. You can go to these things, and it's like it's not the potential to learn is not absent, but it's not prevalent either. It's like you're going there to be social and blink and build, but like not actually build an actual business, an actual idea that leads to invest, a venture. You know what I mean? Especially like, to me, it's like it should also be focused on doing stuff in Atlanta, in the city, not just meeting up here and then doing stuff elsewhere. So it's like, yeah, I gotta call it spade a spade. It's dude. I guess I kind of messed up his audio, but he literally said almost exactly what I was saying at the beginning of this video. Like, I've been here, I've done it, I've invested in the city, I've started businesses here, and I'm just like, you gotta call a spade. But like, I'm not gonna say it out loud initially. No, I mean, maybe I'd have to take accountability, because maybe in the future I would probably be better at that, because then you could prevent $300 tickets with no walking away, with no investment, no, like I said, with no business capital, nothing. It is some cool Instagram or until, like I said, I want to say the first couple of years probably were really cool, but this last year everyone, it was like the camel broke the straw, that broke the camel's back. And it's just been negativity all covered, even to the point where the founders came out and they bashing. They talking about this is not for black people, which is just like the whole concept in the original. I guess the original concept was to help black people use Wall Street in the same way our other counterparts or have been doing since the beginning, so we can finally get some wealth, some passive income, some I'm not gonna say generation, some wealth going that we're not necessarily, super accustomed to. And it's like I prefer this financial literacy to be present, because I was a kid who wanted to know about the stock market and stuff in like 11th grade, like 2009. And I had money because I started businesses, and I had money to invest, and I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to start doing that until recent. And I have an econ major. I have credentials in investing. I have seen ROIs from 60 to 2,000%. So, yeah, if you really want something, come talk this way. Anyways, let's continue.
Good morning. You ready with me?
As a black man who's lived in Atlanta, Georgia for close to 17 years.
17.
And they was getting upset with the city of Atlanta not supporting them. You're starting to see a lot of educated black people when you talk about money. When you make it seem like these things are easy to make money, when you're associated with a lot of people that you guys interviewed that have been caught scamming the community. Now you're building a bad reputation for yourself. People are talking about going to Invest Fest, which is a business conference.
They had dating, like a whole dating show with
companies that are there, people that are there that are popular in the black community but not really successful. And I think
popularity does not equal financial success.
No.
Twitter and Instagram, like,
I don't think of them as
follow,
financial people. I think of them as great marketers.
Instagram, they're the lowest, I guess, payout. You want to, I guess, apparently, if you want the money, you got to get those Facebook. You got to invade that privacy over on Facebook. And YouTube. But YouTube is, I like it.
Showing approval, you're not being transparent. And when you're coming out and you're showing everybody a concert, then we're going to start thinking that you're scammers. And that is what a lot
I didn't even put, I wanted to put InvestFest scam, but it's writing itself.
InvestFest. People are calling InvestFest a scam.
It is.
Right? So we're going to get into why people call it a scam. I went to InvestFest. was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I had like a coupon. So
It reminds me when DJ Envy had the scammer real estate.
That much money to go to an event? Well, I spent $300, $200 on a
Yep.
place.
Yep.
So it was a cool place for me to be. Plus, my aunt and my uncle were flying into town. They're the ones that invited me. They were flying in from New York. They asked me to come through or whatever, so I figured, why not, right?
Nah.
Plus,
To the other
it's a
point
place where I could possibly
that people have made, a lot of other people have already made this point. Atlanta has tech entrepreneur developer conferences for black entrepreneurs, tech developers, engineers, literally weekly. I've been invited. I've gone to a few, but they're literally a weekly event. So like, we don't need. I've seen people say it, and it's like not to just piggyback, but we really don't. It's not necessary for like an annual con, like Dragon Con and Momo Con and Kinky Con and all those. Like it's. And like I said, it's cool if the whole idea is financial literacy and actual, like, investment in ideals of businesses around the city of Atlanta and beyond. But like I said, it's more social. And like I said, that's cool. But to me, that means the price needs to come down, and it just needs to be more transparent about what's in the cost. Possibly network shouldn't be the thing.
expecting to get something out of this, right? So
Invest
takes
means
money to make
return.
money, right? So that was my whole thought process.
I guess that's my thing. Is like, what is the return on InvestFest? You have to ask that question. Right?
People have been calling Invest Fest a scam for years. I've never really paid any attention because one thing I do know is that anytime black people have an event or black people are becoming large or for something, folks start to throw negativity on it. Like they judge it differently. You know what I mean? Like people will be quick to boycott the black business, but then still bring their kids to McDonald's, knowing that we don't know what kind of meat that is.
I don't know. But sure. No. If you have a stance, you stick to it, and no, don't go to McDonald's ever. Don't go to McDonald's because the food is gross, and because it costs too much now. Like you pay the same price at McDonald's for a family of four as you would at like Applebee's or something. So don't even go to McDonald's.
You know, stuff like that. So, you know, I ain't really paying no mind. I just expect that anytime something gets really big, people are quick to shrink it. No diddy. But anyways, we're gonna get into why people saying this is a scam.
No. And not everything black people do is a scam. Everything that scammy people do is a scam. I don't like the association of us being of scammers. Like that, there's lots of legitimate black business, and sometimes the lack of support just be because it's only us supporting, and there isn't a social media presence that's scam associated. And sometimes that'd be a problem, and that's some of the stuff I want to focus where it's like we just get more awareness. It's kind of like what Keith Lee was doing, where he was focused on actual legitimate smaller paced businesses, right? That weren't scam, you know what I mean? That didn't have the big crowds and then the nasty food, which is a scam, right? But were legitimate and just didn't have the promotion at the time, and you know what I mean? And that's something I would love to do in my own. Like not all. When you see a scam, that's what I'm kind of saying myself. Like I kind of said that actually early in the video. I'm like, I don't want it to seem like what he just described. That when I'm jumping out the window and I'm just like, oh, it's because it's this or that. I'm like, to me, I'm not gonna ever do that to black businesses because of obvious reasons. But I guess in some form, like how do I take accountability? And like when I see it, it's like I don't want to warn people. You know what I mean? I don't want them to go and waste that money. I'm literally thinking of a whole segment of trying to save people money from certain scams, like even here in Atlanta. Like for example, this little jump thing. I went to my family the other day. I'm like, I'm not saying it's a scam, but it's on the verge. It is on the verge because the cost wasn't too bad, but it's the whole. They had us waiting out line for an hour and a half past our scheduled time. I got this little jumpy place. Anyways,
Get into the pros and the cons. And at the end, I'll give it a rating and tell you whether or not I think it's worth your time. All right. If you're in Atlanta or you plan on traveling to Atlanta, right? But that being said, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, turn on my post notifications and all that good stuff, man.
I have to get better at
Without
this.
further ado, let's get into this, man.
And
Yeah,
let's
I've
not
seen
look
this
under a rock.
video.
You should know by now that InvestFest is going to be in Atlanta from August 7th to the 9th. And I know there's been a little bit of controversy or whatever, but this is not just some finance conference. This is the Financial Literacy Festival. And this is where Serena Williams, Steve Harvey, Nick Cannon, Keith Lee, just to name a few, will be dropping some gems. Earn Your Leisure lined up 3 days of real conversations on investing, crypto, real estate, building actual wealth.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying your Friday. I wanted to let you know I'll be at Invest Fest tomorrow morning at 11:45. I'll be on the panel for building wealth from behind the chair.
Why can't Portia actually teach anybody about building wealth? Where's her track record? Because let's not forget, we're talking
I think I
about
just need to go to the original video. I don't want to watch this dude just explain his version that he's already got. So, different than I would. I did watch it, and yeah, oof. Anyway.
Let alone 30,000. But I'm not even on the black
Here we
event
go.
no more. I never was.
What is this?
Not a black event. Because I seen somebody else had said that, like, it was white people. Yeah, they're qualified to be there.
On January 20th.
That's another. That's moving the goal. I don't even know what that is. Like, that's not the argument. White people, it's not just for black people. It's for, you know what I mean? It's just centered around financial literacy for black people who don't have it. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's not just because white people are there. Don't. I don't. His point. That was
25th, 1980, Robert L. Johnson and his wife Sheila started what we now know today as BET. It started off in a DC basement apartment, airing only 2 times a week before catching steam and airing 24 hours a day in 1980.
my man is literally doing like how I want to do my documentary style, where like I want to start with something like historic, and then it's like I'm trying to keep up.
BET will become home to black entertainment television, bringing out such shows as Comic View, Donnie Simpson's Video Soul, Rap City, and the like. And of course, at a particular time, BET was in the money. Until it wasn't. By the time 2000 came, BET was in debt. $570 million in debt to be exact. But there was a company that wanted to buy BET, and that was Viacom. Viacom offered to pay the debt that BET had and also paying a surplus of $2.4 billion. And so Bob Johnson and Sheila Johnson did what most people in the black community didn't want them to do, which is sell out.
No, I mean, $500 million in debt is
wasn't
hard.
going to be able to survive because a lot of the cable networks at that time were being bought by larger ones. But that didn't appease the black community. People such as Chuck D from Public Enemy came down hard on Bob Johnson, almost considering him a sellout by basically taking a black-owned business and selling to the white men. Bob Johnson will clap back and say, listen, number one, I've made a lot of black millionaires because of the sale of BET. In fact, this sale made Bob Johnson the first black billionaire in the United States. And secondarily, BET has always been
Love that
open to
history. I just wanted to
investors,
start doing
which
that.
was true
Black billionaires
because
history
BET was publicly
An idea
traded
I have.
on the stock market. So technically anybody could invest. But a lot of folks in the black community didn't want to hear it, and that's still a big question now. What if the black community still owned BET? Fast forward. In 2019, these two young men started a digital media first product called Earn Your Leisure.
Right.
It was
that was-
aimed
right,
at
it was
the black
shortly
community
around-
for
it was around the COVID
financial
time.
literacy
I remember.
and also an educational platform. By the
I remember
time
seeing them on the Joe Budden
2021
podcast, I
came,
believe.
we would be getting what we now know as Invest Fest, a 3-day fest that would happen in the city of Atlanta. And by the way, this year from August 7th to August 9th,
Near Georgia State
this
too.
particular Invest Fest would sell out. Over
Ooh.
31,000 people there. And it's a networking event. It's also education. It's also many things that you can learn. And of course, many people seem to be happy with Invest Fest. After all, if 31,000 people, largely black people, buy tickets to support your platform, it must mean that you're doing something right. But that wasn't always the case. You see, a month before Invest Fest happened, our guy Troy went on the Breakfast Club and said this.
We flirted with the idea just because, you know, the lack of support that we've gotten from the city of Atlanta has been, you know.
Now, people did not understand why Troy would go to the Breakfast Club and basically crap on the city of Atlanta, which caused the mayor to clap back.
No matter what substantive conversation they want to have, you ain't got to go to New York radio to talk about ATL. Like, that sound backwards. And then if you think you trying to start a bidding war, everything in New York costs 3 times as much. And InvestFest is 25,000 people. 20,000 of them live in Atlanta.
All in all, InvestFest was a hit. We got to understand, having a black platform in a largely black city is going to bring out a lot of critics. And it's kind of deserved. They kind of have some guys with shaky reputations, such as 19 Keys or other guys who are speakers who have been caught up with scams in the past. So it makes sense that people are saying that, you know, InvestFest could be a scam. Also, what I've heard is a lot of the people who basically teach or speak at InvestFest are really trying hard to sell their courses, even though the tickets cost $300. And because of this, people go on to TikTok and give a lot of negative reviews. And that's fine because people will always give negative reviews. But instead of just leaning into the fact,
I guess going to a conference for $300 to then talk to a person who says, hey, join my course for $300 a pop. And then you get that course and you have to pay more money to finally start seeing anything. Because like I said, everyone knows investment starts slow. So like there's nothing that they can do that is going to give you instant money. That's first of all, that's a free game. So yeah, it's not for that. Like I said, it's the pricing for me, but I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Fact that you had a very successful event catered at black people, one half of Earn Your Leisure, Rashad Bilal, went on to the platform and said this.
Let alone 30,000, but I'm not even on the black thing no more. I never was on the black thing, not a black event, because I seen somebody else had said that, like, it was white people. Yeah, they're qualified to be there. Like, what do you mean? Like, you think I'm gonna cater just to black people just to get torn down by black people? You out of your mind.
Now he talks about this whole idea of letting other races come into the platform and that he's never truly been for black people, which this is not true. In fact, Earn Your Leisure has built their platform marketing exclusively to black people. They also have a deal, I believe, with Revolt, and we all know that Revolt is clearly targeting blacks. And if you don't believe me, let's look at some of the videos on Earn Your Leisure. Their biggest videos to date are targeting who? Black people.
Yeah.
Woo!
Hypocrite.
Some of these videos include Hidden Truth, Ancient Civilizations, Multiple Dimensions, that had 9.5 million views. Secrets of the Soul of Cosmos, okay, that was with 19 Keys. Food Matrix, this is with 19 Keys again. Then you have Steve Harvey, from sleeping in his car to building a media empire. None of the top videos on the page even have a white person or an Asian person or a Filipino person, because your core audience is black. Furthermore, you picked Atlanta for a
For a
reason.
reason. We're
Because
Wakanda,
Atlanta
yo.
is
Like,
largely
come
the
on
black
now.
mecca of the United States when it comes to business and trade. And that's how you're able to sell 31,000 people in Atlanta, because a lot of people are already in the city.
Literally everybody
They
goes to
don't have
birthday
to come
bash.
from New Orleans or Dallas or New York City to sell for the rest of the tickets. And it's also very close to other states such
I
as
wonder what birthday
Alabama,
bash, though.
Tennessee,
Thing is lit.
Mississippi. It's right there in the heart of the South. Atlanta was chosen strategically. And then
There's gonna be even more white people next year, and Spanish and the Filipinos, of course. Like, I'm done. It's been real. Yeah. What y'all for what? The only thing you're gonna do is criticize it and tear it down. And not pay and want to get it for free anyway.
So he says there's going to be more races next year, and all of you people want to get in for free anyway. And that's interesting if people want to get in free anyway, because that happens all the time. I'm pretty sure if you have some Caucasians or Asians, they'll go through the same thing. But you sold out. And the reason why we know you sold out is because it's all over the internet. You made a lot of money with Invest Fest. So really the people that are hating on you don't really matter. But they made a mistake, which is painting everybody with a broad brush. And that is a disregard for your core audience, who is the Black American community. And they're not the only person that just did that recently. You wanna know else who did that?
Y'all don't put food on my plate? Y'all don't pay none of my bills?
Now, as he's berating the black community, inclusive. Now, this becomes the problem with some, and Rashad would try to come back to counter that and say, yes, we understand, but it's not all black. We want to make it inclusive. Now, this becomes a crappy product and not taking any level of accountability. Just I know as content creators, we can get outside of our body and we can get upset because of what people say. But when people are supporting you and they find value in what you do, you never do what this guy just did. You want to know why? Because check this out.
But one of the things that's made me not want to go is I vividly remember, like maybe 2 years ago, I would see videos on here where people would say, oh, well, InvestFest is a scam. It's this, it's that. And that really deterred me from going for quite a few years, to be honest. And I'm so happy.
See, that's a guy who had a positive experience. He heard all of the hatred, but guess what? He's so glad he went. And now you're telling a guy like that, hey, this ain't for you now. It's for everybody. But at the same time, that's not how you started. This is why so many black businesses go under. You got a good product, people are buying, and then you get disrespectful, not appreciating your base. And you can teach people how to make money in the black community, but you can never teach these business owners to stop being so fucking entitled. So many black business owners in America do not appreciate their customer base. It's all about getting a bag. It's about giving a lot of time on my YouTube videos.
It's very important. I don't think I've ever tried to disrespect my customers in any form or fashion, because they are who support you. You support them, they support you. So, yeah.
We deserve to disrespect people who are paying us because.
Yeah, they should have been.
And I really do want to say that if I hurt you in that commentary, I truly am sorry for that.
On August 1st, 2014, Dr. Brooks B. Robinson, an economist, wrote a very interesting publication called 22 Reasons Why Black Businesses Fail. This is still very popular amongst the black entrepreneurial space, as well as in academic black circles. But it's very interesting that the more things change, the more they remain the same. If you look at what's happened with Earn Your Leisure and Rashad Bilal, you can really see that this was all predicted back in 2014. And it's important to understand, just because a black business is successful today, it doesn't mean that it won't fail in the future. And to get a gist of some of the problems that Earn Your Leisure is having, let's look at how they got in trouble in the first place.
But I'm not even on the black thing no more. I never was on the
Black businesses are to be successful. They must, at a minimum, thrive in their own community. This means repelling outsiders who want to benefit from operating in the black community. In essence, it is a zero-sum game. If outsiders are benefiting, then insiders are losing.
I literally,
potential
like, I
patron-
use content inherently when I was running my business at UGA. Exactly something that I'm going to talk about when I get to that Black Entrepreneurship in Athens. So yes, this is that concept. Like, I didn't read it, but I knew it. Gotta know it.
Of black businesses show their love by patronizing non-black businesses in the community, they reduce the chances that black businesses will succeed. Now, what happens is if you start to have non-black people come to Invest Fest, then what happens is those non-blacks will be able to set up booths, they'll be able to set up courses. What you're doing
is essentially be able to build equity in something that is for us. Duh. Strong communication plan is valid. Yep.
insufficient cooperation and exclusiveness. He says it here. Here we simply want to re-emphasize insufficient cooperation and exclusiveness. He says
how Rashad breaks it. Too much protected territory. Okay. Too much love. It's like, no. Don't protect the territory, preserve the core base. Yep. Mistake. High ticket prices, speakers, low value courses. Yep. Yes, you should take those actual criticisms and just address them instead of the blanket statement. For a product. Right. Yeah, $300 to then get mid, like, no. I'd shoot. If they invited me, I'll go. That's what I'm saying. I'm not against it. If you invite actual, I guess, people who do investing, like on, actually know what a brokerage is. I saw some video the other day. It was like, what's a brokerage? Like, dog. There's so many. No Robin Hood. But that's a lead start, right? So yeah. Econ majors, black economics, people like myself who know this stuff. And like I said, I'm not trying, I guess I would give out free education. The only thing I would charge for is my personal pick, my personal investment pick, because you can't give out all the sauce. Duh. Krabby Patty formula. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like the basics, building a portfolio that fits, like I said, whatever you're trying to do. As far as if you're more of an aggressive investor or if you're more of a passive, investor, seeking out like your interests, general stuff that you just tell everybody. Seek your interest, believe in products that you actually support. You know what I mean? And when you start getting to eventually doing things like building passive incomes with dividends or looking at long-term spread options, that's when, but like a lot of people don't even know how to do that. So they just know buy low, sell high, do what's popular. And it's a lot more.
Here we simply want to re-emphasize the fact that such vertical integration can insufficient cooperation and black vendors, not only are they hurting themselves, they are hurting other black businesses in the community. He would continue. Consequently, it is important for upstream black businesses to maintain close communications with the downstream black businesses to ensure that this cooperation is maintained.
I think that
but what happened? Remember, Troy went to the Breakfast Club. He public.
It will take work, effort, and apologies, I guess. It'll take some, because when you do stuff like this, it costs you. So there's gonna have to be some more free or reduction. Unfortunately, your price don't go up when this situation happens. So I hope you enjoyed the sellout, because to recover, it's going to require some payout. That's just business. I know, because I've ran businesses before, and I've made mistakes. And as the owner, if you want to continue, you got to pay out or close up shop. That's them the rules, man. Those are the rules. So I think it's possible. Like I said, if I could go to be like someone who speaks for a small booth or whatever, I would do. I am all for financial aid. I literally got like Gates certification in economics to teach financial literacy to my fellow Jordans and black people. Y'all subscribe to the channel, Facebook, all those things. Let me know if you're going to go to Invest Fest next year. If it's, it might take a break.